The Clermont County Engineer's Office is responsible for taking care of over 400 miles of county roadways. What projects are going to be underway to repair some of those roadways this summer? Joining us today is Clermont County Engineer Pat Munger. Thank you so much for being with us, Pat.
Thanks, Kathy, for having me. It's always fun to be here.
We enjoy your input too as well to find out which of these roadways we're going to start be seeing closed soon on. Let's talk first about the UC Clermont roadway extension, because we just saw you all out there digging the shovels in and getting ready for that.
Yeah, very exciting project. That project took a lot of effort, and there was a lot of people involved with that, but I'm very pleased to report that the project's underway and moving quite well. So it's about $1 million project that will extend Old 74 over to College Drive. Several years ago, the county constructed the Olive Branch Stone Lick interchange there at 32.
Right.
Part of that process closed off that access of Old 32 or Old 74, where it intersected with 32 near the airport.
Okay.
And so this is a project that will really create an additional access point for UC, as well as the other businesses in that area, but improves access and mobility for Batavia Township, as well as the village of Batavia. So it's a pretty exciting project. You know, quite frankly, a lot of projects that we get involved with are rehabs and widenings of existing roads, and it's not very often where we actually build a new section of roadway through woods or fields or whatever the case may be. So it's an exciting project to be part of.
That college has just grown by leaps and bounds. I mean, who could have anticipated even 15 years ago that it would grow like it did?
Yeah, and the numbers keep growing,
yes.
and so I think this access point, additional access, give them will help the college tremendously.
Mm-hmm. So. Pat, how do you determine which projects should go first in that pecking order?
Well, that priority is always tough because there's a lot of projects. But quite frankly, a lot of our projects these days are tied to other funding sources. For example, state grants. There's safety money out there for different projects. There's different funding sources out there, and that's typically what drives the project delivery is the availability for that funding. A lot of these federal funds, it takes 2 to 3 years to advance through the paperwork and through the process, and so that typically is what dictates. Because I mean, if from my perspective, we want to do everything at one time, but A, there's not enough money, and B, there's just not enough time to do everything in course in 1 year. So we have more or less a plan of effort, and we cooperate with the state of Ohio on many projects, and of course the county's TID, our Transportation Improvement District. I'm the engineer for that as well, and we have nearly $50 million worth of projects currently underway. Throughout the county. It's corridor based. It's dealing with the 32 corridor, the 28 corridor, and the 50 corridor. But nonetheless, there's a total of over $50 million, and just under $20 million is local money. So that $30 million plus dollars, as I like to call it, is other people's money. And so we do a really good job of leveraging our local dollars. The amount of money that we do have locally, we do a great job, in my opinion, on leveraging that. But priority-wise, it really typically, as we operate today, it's really tied to the availability of the federal and state money.
Okay, let's talk about some of the other projects underway. Old 74, what's going on there?
Well, the Old 74 that's the extension to College Drive.
Okay.
And then the other project we have is the intersection at Amelia, Olive Branch, and Judd.
Oh, that's right.
Which is an intersection improvement there. We're installing turn lanes and a traffic signal. That intersection, much like a lot of the intersections in the county, the traffic and just the general use of that intersection has grown to a point where safety safety dictates an improvement and the next logical evolution of an intersection is to signalize the intersection and to install turn lanes so that those people wanting to turn left have a place and they're not backing up the folks that want to go through. So that's a project that we about a $300,000 or $400,000 project we should have underway this summer. The other roadway job is the widening along 50 in Miami Township. The Judd and Amelia branches in Batavia Township. Mm-hmm. And the 50 project is widening from Wolf Pen to Round Bottom, and that's essentially to install a third lane in between those two intersections. Again, there's some development occurring down there along the 50 corridor.
And a lot of traffic.
And more traffic. And we were able to, along with the development, the Penn Station franchise is locating their headquarters there. Mm-hmm. And I think Andy Kukta in the Office of Economic Development was able to acquire some state funding to support the roadway expansion needed and necessary to support that additional business coming into the county. So, again, we work with a lot of different folks. The funding source, if there's a funding source out there that will help Clermont County, we'll go after it. So.
I'm kind of getting the feeling it's together we can do more. You work with the TID, you work with all these different municipalities.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is. I think the evolution of the engineer's office, in my opinion, is that. I mean, you might talk to some other county engineers. There's 88 of us. They probably get 88 different opinions. But in my opinion, it's, I have a role to play. It's not that I'm the end-all be-all answer. But certainly. Roads and bridges have a significant role to play relative to not just the safety of the folks, but then how the county wants to grow economically. And as we all know, if it's hard to get to and from a place, you tend to stay away from there, whether it's a shopping district or a housing area. And so that's I think much of my role is the safety and that aspect of being county engineer, but it also is how do I plug in my talents and skill set into the others within the county to formally marry and merge economic development opportunities with transportation. And I think we've done that, quite frankly, with the TID. As well as as the role within the engineer's office as well. So
I also want to touch quickly on landslides. That's another big area that keeps your crews busy.
We do. Fortunately, that's the part of the terrain is a very added feature to Clermont County. We're not just a flat level county, and so come with the good with the rolling nature of the county, especially as you head down south. A lot of these roads are along those valleys and swales and whatnot, if you will, and along comes landslides. And we have 7 of them that we're going to get after this year and repair, and which is quite a few. I mean, we usually have 1 or 2 on the book, so this is kind of a big year for.
Wow.
This is a big year for landslides. So there's again, a lot of that is tied to funding, and I know one of them. Off of Elk Lick there, off of 222, as you approach Greenbrier, that one's been an issue for a number of years, but it's a very, very expensive endeavor. So some of these things take a little while to finally get finished off, but we do what we can.
It's going to be another busy summer.
Yep. This will carry on into next year as well. So
thank you so much, Pat. This is Clermont County Today.